What's good, guys? My name's Nelson Lloyd. Today, I'm here with the one and only Eliza. Introduce yourself and talk about that crazy win that you hit last week.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Eliza. I'm 19. I used to work in a warehouse, but last week, in my first week of closing, I was able to make just under $2,000.
That's crazy. So, for you guys know my story, this is pretty much Eliza's story. She went from working a warehouse job, she's only 19 years old, to becoming a remote closer. And in her first week as a remote closer, she made less than $2,000. So, on that topic, I guess talk about what was life like before ABC? What was life like working a warehouse job or just graduating school, getting into that lifestyle? I guess talk to the people about that.
So, as soon as I finished year 12, I did pretty shit in school. So, I just stepped straight into the warehouse, was working there for about a year. I knew like that it wasn't what I wanted to do long term. Didn't really want to go to uni. I wanted to do something more, but I guess I just didn't really know how to or what to really channel it into. I was just had these big dreams, but the warehouse was just sort of just the money that kept me there. And I eventually found ABC, which was good.
100%. I mentioned, I know myself going from graduating and then going straight into a warehouse, it's such a dead job.
Really?
No life in a sense. You go in there, you're inside a literal warehouse. There's no sunlight for however long you work.
Uh-huh.
It does so much to your brain rots you. You're always dead after work. I guess, what was the initial change for you that made you realize I need to get out of here and it's either going to be now or never?
So I was working the 5 a.m. shift. So I was having to wake up 3:30, 4 a.m. every single day. Just saying full no sunlight, just brain rot,
Mm,
deadest job ever. I guess I was having a look around the people who I was actually working with. I was working with a lot of people in most warehouses. It's just vast ages, and some of the people there are 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. And
mm,
I was just kind of taking a look at them and I was kind of no hate to them, obviously, but it was just like I don't see myself personally being there.
mm.
I don't want to be in that sort of position when I am that age. And I was kind of just like taking a look around. I was like, I need to sort my shit out. I need to do this and I need to get out of this. Otherwise, I'm gonna end up like that. This is the path that I'm on right now. And if I don't change anything now, then that's gonna be what my future looks like.
100%. I know you actually reached out to me to get started as well. And that was the biggest realization for myself was seeing all the older people working there and just making me realize I do not want to, like you said, all respect to them, right? I do not want to end up 40, 50 years old still in a warehouse in a sense.
Hmm.
I talked about it on one of my videos before, but one of the boys I used to talk to, he's been working there for like 30, 40 years. He told me he missed out on his daughter's birthdays, his son's birthdays, and I was like, I do not want to. Obviously, when I grow up and I have kids, that's the one thing you can't buy your time
Literally.
back. And that was the biggest realization. You also came to that realization as well. So it's a great story because it's only, what was it, like 8 weeks since the trans
Yeah. Yeah, it's been 10
Look,
weeks.
10 weeks. I guess talk to the people on how you were able to fast track your progress from 10 weeks, right? Warehouse, remote closer, they're making less than 2 grand. I guess, how did you go about that and how did you do it so fast?
So I literally just, it was all about the why. I know everyone talks about it, but it was all about my reason for doing it in the first place. My mum and my sister is really important to me, and I was just channeling all of that into it. I was just like, I've done this. This is what I want to do. And I just channeled everything that I could to just put in max amount of work every day, show up every day, keep consistent, and just channel all my energy into this, which is what I wanted to do. And it's worked out for me. So that's the only thing that I would say is just know what you want, just
Mm.
do it because it will pay off. I know everyone talks about it, but if you do put the work in, then it'll work out for you. And as long as you just stay true to that, then it'll work out.
100%. And you're living proof of that, right? Showing that all you need is knowing where you want to be, knowing what you want, but then also remembering your why every single day. Channeling, this is why I'm doing it. This is why I'm waking up early, doing my late nights in a sense. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess, what did your family think about it? Were they supportive or? because obviously this is a completely different pathway than the traditional pathway. So what were
Yeah.
their thoughts on everything?
So, most people of the older generation, they weren't entirely supportive of it. My mum sort of had no idea what I was doing. I quit my job, handed in my resignation a couple weeks ago. My mum was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, I love my mum, but she's not in the financial position that I want to be in. And I just sat down with her. I had a long conversation with her about it, and she just wants me to succeed. And at the end of the day, I know this is my path to success. So she understood at the end. She was not supportive at all in the start, but when you do get the results, then it's living proof. So they can't really deny it. But all I would have to say to anyone who thinks that their parents aren't really supportive or anything like that is just prove them wrong. And it'll be worth it in the long run if you do put the work in. So I guess that's all I have to say.
100%. The results will do the talking and it done the
Mhm.
talking for you in a sense, right? So for
Yeah.
me, for example, when I spoke to my family about it, I told them I was doing another uni course because I was in uni, I was studying psychology. I told them I just invested into another uni course. Little did they know is that I invested into ABC. I invested
Yeah.
in mentorship to get the right mentorship in a sense. And then I realized that I started making some money and then I told them they were shocked. I said I quit my job. I left uni. They're like, what are you doing?" I'm like,
Yeah.
listen, you're either going to back me or you're not going to back me. I'm going all in on this, whether you like it or not, because they're in the position I want to be in. Unfortunately, you guys aren't. And I want to do this for you guys. So if you're here with me, then I'm going to do it for you. If not, by all means, I'm going to
100%.
show you with the results in a sense. So on that topic, why did you decide ABC? There's a bunch of things online, how to make money, how to do this. Why did you choose ABC?
Good question. I guess for me, ABC was just providing the right sort of value to me specifically. I wanted to learn the higher income skills to open up all of the doors for higher income in general. And I guess just with ABC, hearing all the things that they can provide you with, it just sold me immediately. Knowing the community, especially the way that they go about teaching you everything, that was just really valuable to me specifically. And I'm glad that I did go through with it because I don't think that I would have gotten to where I am now in the time that it took me without ABC. So just also seeing the results of everyone else is just a massive motivator, knowing this is what the information that they provide you with can lead you to. So
For sure. I know before we actually started this interview, you were talking about you're a massive procrastinator. You doing tons of research before, and how long did you realize, damn, I just need to take action. I need to get started now rather than delaying it.
I used to be a massive procrastinator, knowing just like what if this doesn't work, trying to find perfection, I guess. But I just realized that a lot of people they just wait for the perfect conditions to actually get started in their journeys, but they don't realize that starting is the perfect condition. So it's just realizing that you can't be waiting around for everything to be perfect, everything to be right. You just have to start and it will be right.
And even with starting, you're either going to find out if it's the right thing for you or you're not going to find out. If you don't start at all, you're never going to find out.
Exactly.
And it's always going to be a what if in your life. And it's a lot of people are scared to take that risk, but it's like we live once. And it's either you're
Exactly.
going to procrastinate for the next 5, 10 years, because that's the biggest cost, right? We talk
Hmm.
price or cost. It's going to cost you more in a sense if you don't get started.
Exactly.
Is
And
it
I
gonna
was knowing like me myself, I just didn't want to regret this. I know I saw the opportunity and I was like, I know I'm gonna regret this if I don't start. It was either stay working in the warehouse or get started. And I was like, might as well. Why wouldn't I? I knew I was gonna regret it, and I'm so happy that I actually did start.
And it's a really good, I guess, journey to see. And it's good to see that, obviously, myself from a warehouse background and then seeing someone else, and especially a girl as well. You don't see much in the industry, and it's really good to see that you're actually standing up for, I wouldn't say standing up, I would say being the lone wolf in a sense,
Mm,
showing like
mm,
the girls that it is possible.
yeah.
Stop limiting yourself and believing that only guys can do it. Stop limiting yourself that only men that can do online business. You're a living proof that women can also do this.
Of
your
course.
like the
And
learn.
that was one of my main motivators in actually doing this, obviously knowing that one, not only warehousing is very male dominated, but also the online space very male dominated as well. And obviously there's still girls that do get out there and do it, and I guess they were sort of my motivators as well. But knowing that I could be the motivators for more girls to get started in this was just really a needle pusher for me. So it's really great, and I hope that I can push more girls to get started as well because I think that we have a lot of skills that make it really easy to be able to succeed in the online space that men don't have. No hate.
100%. I know what you're coming from, and I know where you're, I guess, leading with that as well. So
Mm.
I know we talked about you being able to quit your job, you've been able to make less than 2 grand in a week. I guess how have these high income skills changed your life in a sense?
Of course. Well, I'm one, able to have a lot more time to myself. I'm able to spend more time with my mom and my family, which is one of the main things that warehousing was taking away from me. Not only was it really physical, I also felt like I was just kind of a number in that warehouse. They don't really care about you. They just care about the productivity and the labor of it all. I feel like I actually have a purpose with this. I'm able to actually help people and I'm able to fulfill my sort of purpose. I'm also able to travel. I'm going away in 2 weeks, so I'll be able to work and travel as well, which is really cool. I've always wanted to travel, but obviously, just the standard life is just having to work, save up, and then get 2 weeks off. But I'm keen to actually be able to be earning money while I'm away as well.
I mean, that's a blessing in disguise, and 10 weeks in, and you're already being able to travel. You're already
Yeah.
able to, spend more time with family. A lot of people think it's about the money, but at the end of the day, it's about the freedom. It's the freedom that
Hmm.
we have to actually just wake up, just use our laptop, use the ability of internet, and genuinely help people. I genuinely help people
Exactly.
change their life in a sense, and something that you really want to, impact others on. So I
Mm.
guess like for the final message and for everyone to understand you better, what would you leave the viewers here with? What would be your statement to, I guess, make them to realize that like this is your time, you've watched this video, you've gone through it. What would the last message you give to the people watching?
Don't hold yourself back. Don't try and just let things get in the way because if you're always letting things get in the way of you actually starting, they're always going to be in the way. I'd say just do it. Just take that leap. As long as you put in the work, it's impossible for it to go wrong for you. And it's like, what would you rather? You take a risk that could potentially get you to your goals or just stay exactly where you are for the rest of your life. Just have a think about it. And honestly, my only words that I would say is just do it. Just actually start because you'll regret it if you don't.
You heard it here first, guys. The one thing that she said and she leave you guys with is literally just do it. Don't think about it. Just get started because you're either going to regret not getting started or you're going to realize that you wish you got started sooner. Which one would you rather? Because a lot of people realize once again, they wait for the perfect condition, but don't realize that the perfect condition is starting in itself. But I appreciate you, Eliza, for jumping on. I
No
hopefully get
worries.
some more wins and looking forward to you traveling in 2 weeks. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.